Are we ready? Okay, the first university. You tell us the number. Cheaters can be found in these protected areas, except A. Okay, sorry, I can see you looking at the board. So, the way the slideshow is designed and connected to that, if we are to project and then we are to switch to remove, you're going to be seeing the answers, unfortunately. So it's either we do the projection and we avoid the random sampling, or, so that would mean we'd go order 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Or, so your choice really, we want it to be as less biased as possible. Which one do we prefer? We pick numbers and we go randomly. Okay, good. So we are starting the count. Frank will be helping us count the 30 seconds. Once I'm done with the question, you'll count. Good. Cheetahs can be found in these protected areas, except A, Kidepo Valley National Park, B, Pianupe Game Reserve, C, Queen Elizabeth National Park, D, Uganda Wildlife Education Center. That's correct. Yes, you hurry. You try to be loud, yeah, very good. The following mammal groups are female-led, except A, elephants, B, hyenas, C, chimpanzees, D, bonobos. The following mammal groups are female-led, except elephants, hyenas, chimpanzees, bonobos. One of them is non-female-led. We're counting.
Time up.
D. Pasito. The following mammal groups are female-led, except elephants, hyena, chimpanzees, bonobos. One of those is not female-led.
Chimpanzee.
Correct. You hurry. Who was the first person to study chimpanzees in Uganda? A, Richard Wrangham, B, Vernon Reynolds. C. Jane Goodall. D. Diana Fossey.
Jane Goodall.
Wrong answer. Pass it on.
D.
Wrong answer. It was Professor Vernon Reynolds. It can be even the same person coming to take the paper, no problem. Sorry, you pick another paper. Which is the only species of owl endemic to central India? A. Spotted owlet. B. Forest owlet. C. Jungle owlet. And D. Collared owlet. Now, pass it on. Which is the only species of owl endemic to central India? A. Spotted owlet. B. Forest owlet. C. Jungle owlet. D. Collared owlet. Time up. Time up. It's usually 30 seconds, sorry. If you pick something about 54, number 8. Which of the following is an example of a keystone species in a tropical rainforest ecosystem? A. B. Elephant. C. Fish. D. Gorilla. Pass it on. Which of the following is an example of a keystone species in a tropical rainforest ecosystem? A bee. B, elephant. C, fish. D, gorilla. No, it's a bee. The next person, please. You've handed it over. It's your turn to go with the mic. Both. You go with the mic. Which of the following reptiles is endemic to Uganda? A, three-horned chameleon. B, Tolly's forest chameleon. C, smooth chameleon. D, short-necked skink.
A.
Sorry?
A.
A. That is a three-horned chameleon? No.
Question.
Please, next time, let's try to listen because it's 30 seconds. Within the 30 seconds, it should be done. Which of the following reptiles is endemic to Uganda? A, three-horned chameleon. B, Tolly's forest chameleon. C, smooth chameleon. And D, short-necked skink. No. It's B, Tolly's forest chameleon. Come and pick another one. When did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 a pandemic?
In April 2020.
That was March 2020.
That's correct. Yes, you can come and pick your question. Which plant was recently used as the main ingredient of COVID-19? Of Covidex, sorry, of Covidex. Which plant was recently used as the main ingredient of Covidex, a herbal remedy for treatment of COVID-19? A, cannabis sativa. B, Annona molicata. C, Wabugia ugandensis. And D, Albizia coriaria.
A.
Pass it on. No, but both of you are just guessing. Can you try the name? Just out. This thing was all over social media. But we can go on. Come and pick. It was C. Wabugia ugandensis. It was so common on social media. Okay? Which of the following mammals is considered endangered in Uganda and critically endangered globally? A, mongoose. B, hunting dogs. C, carmine bee eater. D, cheetah.
Hunting dogs.
That's correct. So 5, we are on the last question, the first round of 10. If we want to involve a native tribal population in the management of protected areas for sustainable use of natural resources and ecosystem development, what would be the best model to follow? A, national parks. B, biosphere reserves. C, World Heritage Sites. And D, wildlife sanctuaries.
D.
What is D?
Sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries.
No. You pass it on. No. We start the biosphere reserves.
So basically, we've finished the first round of questions. We've all attempted 5 questions, is that right? Both groups. So each question you answered correctly, you are getting 2 marks. Then if you fail, you get 0. But if your group answers it on the second round of trial, you get 1 mark. So Tourism Institute of East Africa, where are you? Okay, you have a total of 5 marks. Then Uganda Technical College in Bali, you have 1 mark. Take note that we are going to consider the list for elimination, the list scores. So you may get 5, but then the other groups that are coming, if they have more marks, then you will also be eliminated. We are going with the highest score through the first round. I want to thank you for participating. Please take your leave. Thank you so much. Yes, please don't go. You wait from outside for further communication if you're going for the next round.
Hello. Good afternoon. I'm called Caroline Asimwe. I'm in Godo Institute. I'll allow my other colleagues to introduce themselves, then we give you a brief of the rules, and then we start off.
Hello. My name is Atfase Rita. I'm from UWE as horticulture supervisor.
Good afternoon. Yes, my name is Francis William Rohinirwa. I'm an education officer here at UWEC. You're most welcome.
You have a mic in front. Can you tell us the university? And
we are Nkumba University, and I'm the leader, Samagande Joseph.
okay, you're welcome. Pass it on, please.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are Makerere University, and I'm Tumwes Jemakinon, a group leader.
You're welcome. So we have a set of questions. In the first, there will be different rounds if you manage to get through. In the first round, we are mainly focusing on multiple questions, and you answer within 30 seconds. You should have answered. If you fail, it's passed on to your colleagues. And if they fail, then we give you the answer and we move on. If you pass your question, you score 2 marks. If it's a passed on question, you get a 1. Are there any questions before we start? Yes, please. As long as it's within the 30 seconds. Okay. Then one of you just gives the answer, okay? Yes, it's teamwork. So you have to discuss within your team, okay? Just make sure you don't over-whisper and they hear because it can be passed on. All right. So can we have the first person coming to please?
Guys, make sure you use the microphone.
Please pick a number and you tell me the number. Give me my paper, please. Thank you. Three-horned chameleon can be found in only one national park in Uganda. A, Queen Elizabeth National Park. B, Rwenzori Mountain National Park. C, Kidepo Valley National Park. And D, Gwindi Impenetrable National Park.
It is C. No, it's B.
Can you mention the name, please?
Rwenzori Mountain Rwenzori National Park.
That's correct. Number 34. Which of the following has had a significant reduction in its population size over the last 20 years? A, African elephant. B, white rhino. C, Grant's gazelle. D, mountain gorilla.
It's the African elephant.
Pass it on, please.
It's the white rhinos.
It's the Grant's gazelle. Can you come and pick the next question, please? Diseases that can be transmitted from animals to humans are known as A, endemics, B, zoonotics, C, epizootics, and D, pandemics.
They are called zoonotics.
That's correct. Which is the only animal in the world to have 4 horns? A, elk. B, chazinga. C, elephant. D, rhinoceros. A, elk. B, chazinga. C, elephant. D, rhinoceros. That's correct. Yes, the next person. Which of these apes is the most endangered in the world? A, chimpanzees. B, gorillas. C, Tapanuli orangutans. D, bonobos.
Gorillas.
Pass it on.
The Peruvian orangutans.
That's correct. Then you come, Pastor. Which of these national parks in Uganda is designated by UNESCO as a man and biosphere reserve? A, Kidepo Valley National Park. B, Bwindi Impenetrable National Park. C, Mount Elgon National Park. And D, Maction Falls National Park.
Windy.
Pass it on, please.
It's Mount Elgon National Park.
That's correct. Wait. Okay. State the primate with no thumbs. A, bush baby. B, spider monkey. C, black and white colobus monkey. And D, ring-tailed lemur. That's correct. State the deepest lake in Uganda. A, Lake Victoria. B, Lake Albert. C, Lake Bunyonyi. And D, Lake Choga.
C, Lake Bunyonyi.
That's correct. We are on the last. What is the largest tree in the world called? A, the president. B, Lincoln. C, General Sherman. And D, Genesis.
Pardon?
What is the largest tree called? The largest tree in the world? The president, the Lincoln, General Sherman, and Genesis.
The Genesis.
Pass it on.
Lincoln.
No. General Chairman. We're going to listen. I think it's your turn, the last question. So each of you had 5. So that is your 5th. And then they will read for you the score. Which endangered bird can be viewed at the Uganda Wildlife Education Center? A, gray-crowned crane. B, pink-backed pelican. C, foxy weaver. And D, American fish eagle.
Pardon.
Which endangered bird can be viewed at Uganda Wildlife Education Center? The gray-crowned crane, pink-backed pelican, fox's weaver, and American fish eagle.
Gray-crowned crane.
That's correct.
Thank you so much for participating. So the scores are as follows. Nkumba University, you had the 5 questions, of which you've been able to score 7 marks. Then Makerere University, you also had 5 questions and you've been able to score 7 marks. So we are going to allow you to take your leave for now. We shall be announcing the teams that are going for the next round. And we are taking the best. We shall be dropping some, those with the least marks. So we shall be taking the best. Thank you so much for participating for now. You can take your leave.
The very low reproduction rates of 1 calf per female every 8 years elephant populations recover more slowly than many other animals. The elephant population therefore needs to be protected. For several years, Wildlife Conservation Society has worked with other stakeholders to address elephant conservation challenges and threats in the country by studying elephants.
Studying elephants in Action Falls National Park is to understand their feeding ecology, the movement patterns is very important for us to identify the important corridors and also the preferred habitats so that we can protect them.
I'm Joshua, I'm a research coordinator of WCS. This is Action Falls National Park. We monitor wildlife here, including elephants and lions, and we do this snaring where we remove wire snares allowed by poachers to save wildlife here.
I'm John Bosco Kilama. I'm a driver in WCS. I help field team in the Maxon Falls where we encounter poacher, and we help also in removing wire snares and monitoring the lions and elephants.
Use of snares to hunt animals for bushmeat is a challenge in Africa's protected areas. While the snares target smaller animals like antelopes, they also entrap, maim, and endanger other wildlife, including the pillar of Africa's ecosystem, the elephant.
Elephants are wide-ranging species which can traverse the landscape for covering a distance of about 100 kilometers or so. That means that we are able to think in terms of the actual home, the ecological range within which we need to protect the species. And once you protect them, then you're likely to protect other species that survive within that particular geographical range. They also support the dispersal of seeds of tree species. They modify the landscapes, beautify by yanking the trees, and that helps to create suitable environment or habitats for other species that graze and browse trees, like the antelopes, the Uganda hawk, for example, the waterbuck, the bushbuck.
ava bakija batwegesa bagamba tushemerere kulinda ebyobuhangwa.
We identified those 7 parishes which are along the border of the national park, and we are focusing specifically on the plants which are still abundant. We focus on the plants which are diminishing and the plants which are extirpated.
harimo imiteje y'amani munongo yo kushanga nk'abantu bareme bimaze kwankita abo kushanga orabatasho misibwa takachman.
Most of the endangered species in the communities had been cut down. From their training, we came to learn that these were noble medicines.
kandi kirikibira baitu abo abantu okutoza enku hamwe n'okukora amakara batwaramu ekicweka muno kandi ekicweka kino kikaba kiri ekicweka ekikulinda ebisoro harimu engeri y'enkende n'ebiteera baitu abo okutora nti emiti yatemwamu yagwamu ebisoro ebikasobola kuba nibiruka mu kifugamu habw'ensonga egi nitukola mu kasumi kano tulimu tugezaho okugala aho ekisaka kino wekibira kandi bakulinda obuhangwa tusiima muno aba JGI aba one tree planted okuhereza endibo zino ez'emiti okulora twagala aho obuhangwa kandi n'okuligaruka okulinda ebisoro byaitu kola byagaruka mu kikiweka kino.
Muno hoona hakabamo emiti ebiteera niho biikara tukusiima JGI habw'okutuha ensigo eno eitukubyara kandi tukyabyara habw'okuba omusana guli mwingi nikyo tukusenserera kandi ntusiima muno habw'okutuheereza ensigo mwebale muno. Nsiima muno JGI habw'okutuheereza embiba enu kugaaraho obuhangwa nkubasiima muno mwebale muno.
I planted these trees for the purpose of improving onto our environment. We had the forest, but people degraded it, and also we had the chimpanzees which could feed in this forest. But we thank the JGI and One Tree Planted for providing us with the indigenous trees.
The very low reproduction rates of one calf per female every 80.
Hello. Good afternoon. I'm called Carolina Simwe. I'm from the Jane Goodall Institute.
Hello. My name is Atokwase Rita. I'm from UWEC as horticulture supervisor.
Good afternoon. Can you relax? You seem to be very tense. We are here to learn. We are here to enjoy. So my name is Francis Rohinirwa. I'm an education officer here at UWEC. And you're most welcome.
We have simple rules that we are going to follow. We have a set of questions. In this first round, we are doing multiple choice questions. You are free to discuss within your group when your question is asked. You have only 30 seconds to give us an answer. When you fail the answer, you pass it on to your neighbors. If they fail, we give you the answer. The score for the question that was originally yours is 2. The question that you passed on and the other team, if they pass it, then it's a 1, a score of 1, okay? We are doing random sampling this time. Randomly, you select your question. You pick a number from here and we read for you the question, okay? Only 30 seconds. Do you have any questions? Are you okay? Are you relaxed? So can one of you, where's the mic? You can start. Can one of you introduce the university? Where are you from? Or the institution? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm called Nancy Bisimwa from International University of East Africa in Kampala district, and we are here to represent it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You can give your neighbors. Pass it on, please.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Captain Pina Morris, and we are the students from Uganda World Research and Training Institute. We are from Western Uganda within Queen Elizabeth National Park in Katwe sub-county. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we are going to start off. You have 5 questions each. So can the first university, who is number, what's your number? And your number? 6. Can number 5 start, please? So you pick a paper here. It will have a number. You tell me the number, and I read for you the question. No, you say the number from here, but you give me back the paper, and you go back to your seat. Number 25. Thank you. Keystone species are those on which other species in an ecosystem largely depend. Out of the following list, select the best example of a keystone species. A, eastern rat snake. B, the wood rat. C, beaver. And D, ruffed grouse.
B.
Do you want, which name is that?
Woodrat.
You can pass it on to your neighbors.
It is C for beaver.
That's correct. Can one of you come and pick, please? The following districts in eastern Uganda have at least 2 Rasmus sites, except Ramsar sites. They have, okay, I'm repeating the question. The following sites in eastern Uganda have at least 2 Ramsar sites, except A, Katakwi, B, Kamuli, C, Kumi, D, Soloti. Pass it on, please.
Amoli.
That's correct. They have brought it closer to you. On which African river is the Victoria Falls? A, Orange River, B, Victoria River, C, River Nile, D, Zambezi River.
River Nile.
Pass it on, please.
D, Zambezi.
That's correct. Cheetahs are the fastest land mammals. What is the maximum speed of a cheetah? The recorded maximum speed. A, 78 kilometers per hour. B, 150 kilometers per hour. C, 120 kilometers per hour. And D, 130 kilometers per hour. That's correct. Put it aside and they pick another one, please.
$59.
Another one, please.
16.
Which of the following mammals is not an ape? A, gorillas, B, orangutans, C, gibbons, D, none of the above. Which of the following mammals is not an ape? A, gorillas, B, orangutans, C, gibbons, D, none of the above.
None the above.
That's correct.
Number 42.
In 2018, tourism was the #1 foreign exchange earner in Uganda, generating over US dollars. A, 1.6 billion, B, 1.8 billion, C, 2.7 million, and D, 3.8 billion.
$3.7 billion.
$1.6 billion.
That's correct. Oh, that's the fine. No, that's number 5. Then they have 1, and we're done. Okay.
Number 11.
Which of these birds can rotate its head at approximately 360 degrees? A, hornbill, B, spoonbill, C, owl, D, flamingo, E, none of the above.
Stone B.
Pass it on because it's not even an option among those we mentioned. Pass it on and time up for you.
None of the above.
That's also wrong. It's an owl.
$30.
Name the species of snakes that eats other snakes. A, the king cobra. B, python. C, Russell's viper. And D, rattlesnake.
D, the rattlesnake.
That's correct. So that was the last question. We wait for the score and then we'll wait outside.
Okay, before you go, have you all answered 5 questions? Is that correct? We've done 4. Okay, so you have one more chance. Yes.
Sixteen.
16. Name the only animal on earth other than man known to contract leprosy. Olive baboon, B, 9-banded armadillo, C, king cobra, and D, chimpanzee.
Chimpanzee.
Sorry, pass it on.
Olive baboon.
No, it's the 9-banded armadillo.
Number 19.
Name the only country in the world where both the lion and the tiger are found in the wild. A, Uganda, B, Indonesia, C, Pakistan, and D, India.
Pakistan.
Pass it on.
India.
That's correct.
Thank you so much for participating. How are the questions? You've done quite well. We've got International University of East Africa, is that right?
Yes.
And you are WTI? Okay, so the University of East Africa, you are given 5 questions, and you also poached questions which were not answered by the other team. So you've been able to score 5 points from this round. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the wildlife research, you also poached some questions from your neighbor, and you were able to answer some. So you've been able to score 6 points from this round. You all wait from outside. We shall be announcing the teams that are going for the next round. You can take your leave now. Thank you.
Thank you.
the very low reproduction rate of 1 calf per female every 8 years, elephant populations recover more slowly than many other animals. The elephant population therefore needs to be protected. For several years, Wildlife Conservation Society has worked with other stakeholders to address elephant conservation challenges and threats in the country by studying elephants.
Studying elephants in Murchison Falls National Park is to understand their feeding ecology, the movement patterns is very important for us to identify the important corridors and also the preferred habitats so that we can protect them.
I'm Joshua, I'm a research coordinator of WCS. This is Murchison Falls National Park. We monitor wildlife here, including elephants and lions, and we do this snaring where we remove wire snares set by poachers to save wildlife here.
I'm John Bosco Kilama. I'm a driver in WCS. I help field team in the Murchison Falls where we encounter poachers, and we help also in removing wire snares and monitoring the lions and elephants.
Use of snares to hunt animals for bushmeat is a challenge in Africa's protected areas. While the snares target smaller animals like antelopes, they also entrap, maim, and endanger other wildlife, including the pillar of Africa's ecosystem, the elephant.
Elephants are wide-ranging species.
Good afternoon. You're welcome to this day. I'm called Caroline Asimwe. I work with the Jane Goodall Institute as a One Health Education and Research Programs Manager. My colleagues will introduce themselves, then I'll brief you on the rules of the quiz today.
Hello, good afternoon. Why do you look worried? My name is Atkwasa Rita, and I work with UWEC as horticulture supervisor.
Good afternoon. You're most welcome to today's quiz. My name is Francis Rohinirwa. I'm an education officer here at UWEC.
So members, we are going to feel relaxed, okay? They are simple questions. They cut across the globe, not just Uganda. This round we are having multiple choice questions, so it's easy. Then each group gets 5 questions. The questions are selected randomly. They're in that basket. There are numbers in that basket. So each group will pick a number when it's your turn. You read the number, I read for you the question. You have 30 seconds to answer. Only one chance to answer. Once you fail, you pass it on to your colleagues. For every answer that you pass for your original question, the score is 2. For every answer you get for a passed-on question, the score is 1. Okay? You have only 30 seconds. You can discuss among yourselves when you've picked when you have your question, and then one of you will give us the answer. 30 seconds should be at the back of your mind, okay? Any questions? When you're answering, if you could remove so that you can be audible, because they are recording you. Your fellow students you came with or back home, they are watching you somewhere and listening to your answers and cheering for you. So we need your answers to be audible, okay? Okay. What's your number? And can one of you get the mic and introduce the university, please? Or the institution?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Barry Jacqueline Penina, my name. We are Uganda Hotel and Tourism Training Institute, UHTTI.
That's in Ginger. Okay, you're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Matak Enoch Cyrus, and we are a team from Chambogo University.
You're welcome. So which number are you, Chambogo?
Number 7.
And number 8. So they start. Do you have any questions before we go on? Okay, let's start, okay?
Number 49.
When did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 a pandemic? You have 30 seconds to go, please.
In November 2019 in China. I beg your pardon?
Can you pass it on? You want pardon?
Yes.
When did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 a pandemic?
In March 2020.
That's correct.
Number 48.
Which of the following is a value of a wetland? A, water recycling. B, water purification. C, basketry. D, flood control. Wait, let me repeat for you the question. Which of the following is a use value? Okay? Of wetlands: water recycling, water purification, basketry, flood control.
C.
It's correct. Can you mention the C?
It's a basketry.
Yes, my lady, can you be, you came for quiz and you're on TV.
Basketry.
Come on, hey, be brave, eh? Be confident with your answers, okay?
Question 38.
Which of the following countries has the highest number of endemic birds? A, Uganda. B, Colombia. C, Brazil. D, Peru.
Colombia.
That's correct.
Okay, number 37.
In which year did Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center, WEC, become a statutory body? A statutory body. Syllabus will have 1952, 2015, 1994, and 2020.
A, 1952.
That's correct? No. Sorry. When it became a statutory body. Pass it on.
We beg you pardon for the options.
1952, 2015, 1994, 2020.
1994.
That's wrong. It's 2015.
Number 58.
Pick another one, please.
47.
Which of the following gases has the least global warming potential? A, carbon dioxide, B, methane, C, nitrous oxide, and D, sulfur hexafluoride.
C, nitrous oxide.
Pass it on, please.
I beg your pardon on the objectives.
Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, sulfur hexafluoride.
B.
Sorry?
B.
What is B?
Methane.
No, it's carbon dioxide.
Number 3.
What is the gestation period of a mountain gorilla? A, 7.5 months, B, 9 months, C, 10 months, D, 8.5 months.
.5 months.
That's correct.
Number 5.
In which year was Entebbe Zoo opened? A, 1930, B, 1962, C, 1952, D, 1972, E, none of the above.
(1952).
That's correct. Are we going for the 5th question? Number 4. Okay.
Number 21.
Which of the following is the largest reptile in the world? A, king cobra, B, reticulated python, C, emerald tree boa, and D, black mamba.
Pardon?
Which of the following is the longest reptile in the world? A, king cobra, B, reticulated python, C, emerald tree boa, and D, black mamba.
C.
What is it?
Emerald tree boa.
Okay, you can pass it on.
Black mamba.
Sorry?
Black mamba.
No, it's the python. So you're on the last question.
Number 9. Number 6.
After the extinction of rhinos in Uganda, the government and conservation agencies reintroduced them back in the country. In which year was that? In A, 1983, B, 1990, C, 1997, D, 1999, and E, none of the above.
None of the above.
Pass it on, please.
Pardon on the objectives.
1983, 1990, 1997, 1999, none of the above.
(1999).
No, it's 1997.
Question number 4.
In which national park in Uganda can one find cycads in their natural habitat? Kidepo Valley National Park, Rwenzori Mountain National Park, Murchison Falls National Park, Queen Elizabeth National Park, none of the above.
Pardon the question.
In which national park in Uganda can one find cycads in their natural habitat?
None of the above.
Can you pass it on, please?
I beg your pardon for the objectives.
Kidepo Valley National Park, Rwenzori Mountain National Park, Maction Falls National Park, Queen Elizabeth National Park, none of the above.
B.
What is B?
Rwenzori Mountains National Park.
No, it's Queen Elizabeth National Park.
Okay, thank you so much for your participation. Here are your results. You HTTI, you have a total of 5 points. Congratulations. Chambogo University, you have a total of 4 points.
You will wait. Huh? Yes, please. So don't worry, we are yet, when we are doing the elimination, we are going to look at all the scores. Even if it's you who have the best, for example, you'd meet again in another round, okay? So it's not that the two schools, then the best one is the one to stay. No, we are looking at a scoreboard, okay? So it's a competition for everyone. It doesn't matter whom you came with here.
So how many rounds do you have?
We shall call you back after we have had the last two.
Good afternoon. So there was a mix-up. I think the sound was off. Those who are watching us live from wherever you are, we are for the World Wildlife Day quiz, tertiary institutions. Just to clarify, the previous teams that were here, that is Chambogo and UHTTI, your scores are 6 points each. Take note of that. My name is Francis Rohinirwa. I'm the education officer here at OWEC, and you're most welcome.
We would love to know you, so if one of you could hold the mic and introduce the institution, please. And then after you pass it on and they introduce themselves also. One person can introduce the institution.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mohammed Abdurrahman Gala from Kampala University.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nakana Jurehan from Kampala University.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Namkwanda Sylvia, Rustema University.
You're welcome. So relax, we have simple questions. Multiple choice. When you're going to speak, we would request you put down your mask so that we can see your face, your friends out there can see your face and hear you well. We have a set of questions. Each of you will have a chance to answer 5 questions. For every right answer for your question, you get 2 marks. If you fail, you only 1 chance. If you fail, you pass it on to the other institution. And if they pass, they score 1. Are we together? The questions are selected randomly. They are in that basket. You just choose and you answer. We are trying to eliminate bias. Yes, so which number are you? And you're number 9. So we start with number 9. Do you have any questions for us? Not a quiz. We're Any question? The instructions are clear? Okay, that's good. So we can start. You have only 30 seconds, please, to answer your question.
$33.
Which of these beetles is the strongest insect on Earth? A, Rhinoceros beetle. B, bull-headed dung beetle. C, Hercules beetle. And D, none of the above.
The dung beetle.
That's correct.
$44.
Which country received the highest number of tourists in Africa as of 2021? A, South Africa. B, Tunisia. C, Morocco. And D, Egypt.
South Africa.
Pass it on, please.
Egypt.
The right answer is Morocco.
Number 22.
Come again?
22.
Which document declares living resources shall not be utilized in excess of natural capacity for regeneration? Living resources shall not be utilized in excess of their natural capacity for regeneration. A, World Conservation Strategy. B, World Charter for Nature. C, Bali Action Plan. D, Cobalt Action Plan. World Conservation Strategy, World Charter for Nature, Bali Action Plan, Cobalt Action Plan.
World Charter for Nature.
That's correct.
Number 32.
The fastest bird in the world is A, Lana falcon. B, peregrine falcon. C, laughing falcon. D, forest falcon.
The fastest?
Bird. Bird. Bird.
Bird. None of the above.
It's not an option. Please pass it on. Please pass on the mic.
The Lana Falcon.
Come again?
Lana Falcon.
It's the peregrine falcon. Sorry.
$20.
A revolutionary but unpopular step is being taken in Namibia under the guise of the operation by CONIS to save the black rhino from eventual extinction from horn poaching. What is the strategy that is being used in Namibia? It's a revolutionary but not popular. A, tranquilizing and dehorning. B, ranching all rhinos. C, keeping all rhinos in zoos. And D, electrifying the fences of the rhino reserves. A, tranquilizing and dehorning. B, ranching all rhinos. C, keeping all the rhinos in zoos. And D, electrifying the fences of the rhino reserves.
Tranquilizing.
I wish you could complete it. It's correct, but tranquilizing.
Tranquilizing and dehorning.
Oh, okay.
14.
14? Okay. Which bird constructs the largest unit nest structure in the world? A, red-billed quail. B, sociable weaver. C, mountain dragon. And D, ostrich. Which bird, okay, constructs the largest unit nest structure in the world? Red-billed quail, sociable weaver, mountain dragon, and ostrich.
Sociable quail.
Sociable what?
It's the quail. Option A.
You've mixed two answers. Weaver, red-billed quail, sociable weaver, mountain dragon, and ostrich.
It's a red-billed quail. Option A.
Pass it on, please. I feel like answering that question because there was already a hint from me. Huh? Yes? Yes? But you didn't pass it despite the hint. Can, yes?
A weaver.
That is because he had the right first word, social. I wanted him to mention the other one and he failed. So the hint wasn't even from me. He had the answer. But then he confused the two things. And that's why I wanted to cancel it because it was supposed to be obvious for you. So I'm canceling that, okay? No, they have failed theirs. They have failed, so the passing on is what is cancelled. Yeah.
$39.
Gorillas share -% of their genetic code with humans. A, 98.7%. B, 99.9%. C, 98%. And D, 97%. On the percentages? 98.7%, 99.9%, 98%, 97%.
98.8%.
It wasn't even an option there given, so can you pass it on? It's 98%.
Zero 09.
Come again?
Oh, 60.
Number 60? Give it to him and pick another one, please.
27.
7.
27.
Keystone species are those on which other species in the ecosystem largely depend. Out of the following list, select the best example of a keystone species. A, eastern rat snake. B, the wood rat. C, beaver. D, rough grouse. Eastern rat snake, wood rat, beaver, ruffed grouse.
Option A.
Time up and it's wrong. Pass it on.
Pardon on the options.
The rat snake, wood rat, beaver, and ruffed grouse.
Wood rat.
No, it's the beaver.
Number 46.
Select the positive environmental impact of tourism. A, protection of endangered species. B, education is improved. C, health care is improved. And D, local cultures are improved.
With options.
Protection of endangered species. Education is improved. Health care is improved. Local culture is improved.
Education is improved.
Pass it on, please.
Option A.
What is it?
Protection of endangered species.
That's correct. Which of the following is an ex situ conservation area in Uganda? A, Queen Elizabeth National Park. B, Pian Upe Wildlife Reserve. C, Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center. And D, Ajai Wildlife Reserve.
Pardon the option. The question, I mean.
Which of the following is an example of an ex-situ conservation area in Uganda? You now want the options again? Okay. Queen Elizabeth National Park, Pian Upe Wildlife Reserve, Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center, WE, and Ajai Wildlife Reserve.
Option D. Ajai Wildlife Reserve.
Pass it on, please.
WEC.
That's correct. But why? It's correct. Why? I don't want it to be guesswork. Why?
I think because UWEC imitates their way of living in the wild.
Captive setting is ex situ.
Yeah.
Why? Not imitating, but when you live outside. Okay. That was the last question, okay?
Thank you so much. You've done quite well. So the total scores are as follows. Bositama University, you have 1 point. Then Kampala University, you've got 7 points. What is going to happen is that we are going to select the teams that are going to the next round after this. So we'll be announcing to you. Just skip around for the next round, yes.
The very low reproduction rates of 1 calf per female every 8 years, elephant populations recover more slowly than many other animals. The elephant population therefore needs to be protected. For several years, Wildlife Conservation Society has worked with other stakeholders to address elephant conservation challenges and threats in the country by studying elephants.
Studying elephants in Murchison Falls National Park is to understand their feeding ecology, the movement patterns is very important for us to identify the important corridors and also the preferred habitats so that we can protect them.
I'm Joshua. I'm a research coordinator of WCS. This is Murchison Falls National Park. We monitor wildlife here, including elephants and lions, and we do this snaring where we remove wire snares and by poachers to save wildlife here.
I'm John Bosco Kilama. I'm a driver in WCS. I help field team in the Maxon Falls where we encounter posa, and we help also in removing wire snares and monitoring the lions and elephants.
Use of snares to hunt animals for bushmeat is a challenge in Africa's protected areas. While the snares target smaller animals like antelopes, they also entrap, maim, and endanger other wildlife, including the pillar of Africa's ecosystem, the elephant.
Elephants are wide-ranging species which can traverse the landscape for covering a distance of about 100 kilometers or so. That means that we are able to think in terms